What's going on, y'all?
Happy Thursday.
Man, we ain't forget this time.
I hope your week is going great.
Yeah.
This is your little midweek check-in.
Yeah, right.
Come hide. Come hide in this podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just come.
Don't worry about what's going on outside.
Yeah, put this on in the background.
Yeah.
And you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Listen to some history. Yeah. Which today we are taking you back to Armour Square.
Such a fun episode.
Yeah.
With such a fun guest.
Yes. Yeah. We had Steve Dolinsky, the Chicago food guy.
Yeah.
The Hungry Hound, so
previously known as the Hungry Hound.
Yeah. So he was on there, really cool dude. And we were inside of Slurp, which is
in Chinatown.
Such
a good place, by the way. If you guys haven't been, check it out. It's really, really good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was a really fun episode. I love that area.
A lot of history.
A lot of really cool, important history. So it was like one of my first times really diving deep into Chinatown. So. Mm-hmm. I've loved it ever since. Yeah. I loved it before, but appreciated it way more.
Yeah, I think y'all gonna appreciate Chinatown a lot more. And it's not just Chinatown, but like that's a big story of it. Yeah. So, but this episode originally aired January 3rd, 2022. Enjoy. We'll be right back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too.
Is that how they song?
No, it's not. I just made that up.
Okay.
I just made the happy birthday, but New Year.
Starting out strong. 77 flavors. Let's get it.
This is the podcast where we visit all 77 of Chicago's historic neighborhoods and discuss their heritage and taste the amazing food.
And if you know anything about us, we love two things, food and Chicago, so I can't wait to burn this gas money.
You ready?
Let's get it.
This is the 77 Flavors of Chicago, the podcast.
Welcome back to another dope episode of 77 Flavors of Chicago. The first one of the year. Hey, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Enough of that. How you doing?
I'm just, just vibing.
You vibing? You in the zone?
Yeah. We're gonna have a great guest on this episode.
Yeah, we are gonna have. We're gonna be joined by Mr. Steve Dolinsky himself, the food guy here in Chicago. I'll still give him an air horn. I'll give him an air horn. Now I'll give it to him when we
he's not here yet, but when he gets here, he's going to get it again.
Yeah. But listeners, Happy New Year to you all. We hope that you made it through safely and everything. Y'all didn't drink too much. I'm sure you drink too much. But
just vibe.
Yeah, it is a vibe, man. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
We got 47 to go?
Yep, 47.
Yeah, 47. This is episode 30.
This is episode 30.
Are you ready to start a brand new year from the start, January to December? Because we started last year.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we started last year, June.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready?
I mean, we have to. What am I saying? We got it.
I'm looking at you dead in your eyes waiting for a different answer. She was going to say no. She was going to say no. I'm going to be like, okay, well, we're done.
Unrecord.
That's funny. We are here. Actually, we are in Armour Square.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in Armour Square, and right now in Slurp.
Correct.
Don't suggest you look that up on your phones.
Don't look it up on your phone.
Look it up in Google Maps.
And there's a mixtape by someone. Somebody made a mixtape.
Somebody made a mixtape of slurping.
Slurp. And just, obscene photos.
So look it up in Google, Google Maps or Apple Maps, your GPS. Don't look it up on the regular internet.
Or change the restrictions on your phone where it doesn't show you women.
Slurping. Stop it.
One.
She said, well,
anyway.
It's
a family podcast.
Yeah, well,
no, it's not.
No, I put that letter E on there for, it don't mean everybody. It means explicit. I was about to say exclusive.
I know.
But we here in Chinatown, this part of Armour Square. And let me tell you, some dope history about this place.
The only thing I know about this place is the Chicago Library. The public library that's here is really cool.
Yeah, what's cool about it?
The architecture of it is probably really cool. I think, if I remember correctly, it is like a combo of Chicago architecture and then also Chinese architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a unique vibe than other public libraries around the city. Of course, the one downtown is pretty cool, but this one is pretty unique. That's the only thing I know about Chinatown.
Yeah,
I've driven through it quite a bit of times because it was on my way to work.
Yeah.
But
well, here's a crazy thing. So I knew about Chinatown and I've been here, but I realized I'd never been here during like daylight. You know what I mean? Like I never been here. Think about that. Like I've been here like at nighttime. Usually by the time I'm just chilling. You know, had some food, had you know the shopping areas around here pretty dope. But I never been here during the day and saw Chinatown. You know, driven by. You know, like I used to work on Michigan Avenue, so I went through it. But on foot, this kind of blew my mind a little bit. It's really beautiful down here.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll post some photos if you've never been, or if you're out of Chicago and you can't come anytime soon. We'll post some pictures so you can take a look. Because
this is one of the dopest like Chinatowns in the country.
I think so. The only other one is I know the Chinatown in New York. Did you know that has the largest population of Chinese people outside of China is in New York?
I could imagine that. I mean,
like obviously.
Yeah, I could. What is that?
Like they together.
Yeah. They together. What does that mean?
Like they like a together population, not like
they're not segregated themselves. They're not split. They a team. Right? I mean that's what you're trying to say. They connected. They well I got the story of
they live in one place.
Yes. You didn't want to say contained. Like that sounds bad. I know that's what you was. Anyway, first one of the year. Here we go. But I do have some perspective on that though, because it is actually kind of cool. It's a really cool story about how our Chinatown.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. So let's get to it. You ready to start the first one out of the year?
Hey,
let's go. Yeah, let's get in tune, y'all. Boy,
should I sing everyone?
Yeah, I was about to say. So, are you the singer this year? Is that what's going on?
Maybe. Are we reversing roles?
I think we might. Wait, role play. Oh.
Do you know that TikTok sound that says, "Am I the drama?" I can't be the drama.
You the singer this time.
Maybe.
Let's go.
No, we'll see.
Y'all, let's get it cracking, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. We about to teach you about the area. We are in Armour Square. It is community area number 34. And here are the boundaries. To the north, we got 18th Street. To the south, we got Pershing Road. To the west, Union Pacific Railroads. To the east, the Dan Ryan. You were going to say something? I thought you were going to say something. Okay. No. And so the history of this place actually really cool. If you visualize it, if you are not from Chicago, or even if you are from Chicago, you don't know, just think about a little sliver of area. Okay, and that's what Armour Square is. And it used to be bigger.
A sliver or a slither?
No, sliver.
Oh. Not
you slither. See, I got a gap in my tooth, so you might have threw you off.
That's not what I said. You know what I mean? That is not what I said.
That might have threw you off, huh? She said, "Did this man say slither?" No, I thought
you said sliver.
You said slither. I did with my retainer for Invisalign, so my shit opened up back like the C's. Anyway.
Wow. Tell us more.
Moses was like, "Yo, brother, your teeth supposed to be." Let me stop. This ain't about me.
Prophet?
He came down.
You think Moses parted your teeth?
He had a toothbrush and was like, boom.
Wow.
Just like gap.
Moses took
Stop
a
it.
toothbrush.
Come on, let's move on. It's not about me.
Banged it on the ground and parted your teeth in half.
Anyway.
That's actually a good
premise.
That's a good visual. I think you should make it and then we should sell it as an NFT. It's just Moses with a toothbrush parting somebody's teeth. I'm just saying.
We're bringing gap teeth awareness on this. GTA. Anyway.
Grand Theft Auto awareness.
We cannot be acting like this in public. This is the first time
in public, and this is tracks.
I know. Act right, okay?
Yeah, you didn't tell them we were on location.
Okay. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here. 2022, okay? Anyway, we're on location at...
Steve, I'm sorry, this is the episode you're on.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. All right, so here's the thing. So Armour Square, how did Armour Square come about, right? So Armour Square is close to the city. It's very close to the Loop. Yep. We're talking a couple blocks from the Loop,
correct,
right? So when the Chicago fire happened in 1871,
correct? You should have let me say it.
I should have let you say it. We can rewind. In 1871. When the
Chicago fire happened.
There you go. Back to real life. Chicago fire happened, but this place wasn't affected, okay? And by effect, was not affected by the Chicago fire. And what I mean by affected, nothing burned down necessarily, right? But what did happen, how it is affected, is because the city made the laws and said, hey, everything's got to be built of stone or brick, right? This was the brick area, part of town. Brick area is what Chicago was known as, parts of it. Hey, look, this is where brick's coming from. And they start rebuilding the city. Things start being too expensive because, every
stone is more expensive than wood.
So a lot of the folks got pushed out, right? They got pushed out of the loop. And they were forced to be down in this area known as Armour Square. That's how they were affected. And then in addition to the city just growing, it's wedged, like I said, in between an expressway and elevated rail tracks because the city had to grow. And when that happened, it shaved off the east and the west sides of this community area. Mm-hmm. Now it's left with a little sliver. Yeah, slither. Anyway.
I think anytime it's just you and me, people really get an insight
of how goofy we really
dive look into what we are in real life.
Somebody probably listens to this and is like, yo, this is how I'm starting my 2022 off. With these
You're welcome.
Yeah, hey, look, whatever. It is what it is. We appreciate you, by the way.
What can I say except you're welcome?
You just love singing. What is going on?
That's a song from Moana. It's like one of my favorite songs.
I mean, I can't remember. I only know the Rockets in there. It's my boy.
He sang that song.
Oh, it was his song.
Bruh.
I did not pay attention.
All right, well, I can't sing anymore because now we got to pay for it.
Turns out I don't read, and I don't pay attention that well.
Oh. And
I had the script, mind you, okay? And I saw pictures on the screen, and I was reading like that. What if that was the case?
Wow.
Tangents. We haven't done those in a long time. Here's some fun fact for the folks that are all my White Sox fans. Shout out to all my White Sox fans.
That was so loud.
Well, whatever, man. Look, this is the first one of the year. Haven't gotten it. Haven't figured out the button. I'm heavy-handed. Comiskey Park is in Armour Square, and it was built in 1999 by Charles Comiskey.
Is it really?
Yes, it's actually the old Comiskey Park was the oldest ballpark.
Is that the White Sox?
Wow. I just said.
Oh.
I just say wow.
It feels like it's souther than here.
More southern.
Southerner.
Yeah. Well,
southerner from here.
This expands pretty far. Okay, this goes pretty far. But it's a sliver. Keep in mind,
it's a long.
It's a long sliver.
It's not wide, but it's long. You know.
Anyway, but. So the Comiskey Park, original Comiskey Park, was here, mm-hmm. and not only was the old Comiskey Park here, but it was the oldest ballpark in the major leagues. Not only that, it is the now even guarantee rate field. It is
what a stupid name.
Yeah, well, I mean, what if they want to sponsor us?
Well, that's fine. We'll take it.
You could have just gave us Comiskey Park. You know, you don't have to change all the damn names all the time.
Well,
we still call it Comiskey. It don't even matter.
So it's different.
Right. I mean, you put your little arrow wherever you want to put. Anyway, that's not the point.
Put your little arrow.
Both parks. Mm-hmm. White Sox have played in the neighborhood longest out of any other sports team, baseball team in baseball. So think about that. Ever. You know, so like think about it.
How long has it been?
Wrigley, as well, since 1909.
Oh.
And before that, because they had a team before that, a field before that, and I'll get to it. But we talk about the Cubs, and I'm a diehard Cubs fan, right?
Yes.
And we love how they're built into a neighborhood, right?
Correct.
They weren't in the neighborhood the longest. It's the White Sox.
That is so dope.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Something else that you might not even know in White Sox fans, and this is something that doesn't get talked about enough in Chicago, especially Chicago sports. Microcosm of the times, but before then, there was a team, a Negro Leagues team. The National Negro League was actually formed here in Chicago.
Right.
And we had a team called the American Giants. And the American Giants played when the Comiskey moved the Sox to the new park. The American Giants played in the old Sox park.
For those that are not very versed in the sports world like me that don't know what that is, what is that?
What do you mean?
League?
It's a Negro League. It's the Negro League. We're blacks because it was segregated.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I'm sure people knew what the Negro League was. Okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was where the blacks played. Okay.
Okay, because you had a white team.
Yeah, when whites couldn't, baseball wasn't integrated into the 50s. I'll get to that.
That's
yes,
crazy.
Yes, I'll get to that.
50s?
Absolutely insane. Matter of fact, shout out to Minnie Minoso, who was just recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. That took way too long. He was actually the first black player on the White Sox. So, but aside from that, the Negro League. Let's talk about them for a second. The American Giants. They were a fantastic team. Okay, they were like, in their time, they rivaled the Cubs and the Sox. Matter of fact, they sold out more. They were more hot than the Sox and the Cubs at that time. Absolutely, there would be some days where they would sell out more than the Cubs and more than the Sox. I mean, the Cubs actually won the World Series in 1908. Oh. So let's not do this.
You're pretending like it's super personal.
Y'all know how I love my Cubs. Anyway, let me just tell you how dominant they were. So in the 20s, 1920, the Negro National League was formed. But the Giants, the American Giants, won the championship in 1920, 21, 22, 26, and 27. You talk about domination.
That's crazy.
1952, when the National League, when baseball started to integrate, that's when they were disbanded. They played for 42 seasons, and that's when the team was disbanded. We talking about 1952.
That's insane.
That is insane. That is not that far ago. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people don't understand how dope that is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like how dope that really is. That I don't want to say dope, but like we talk about integration and segregation, but that was yesteryear. You know what I'm saying? Like
If you think that is recent, I mean, it's not recent. Like it's we hear that narrative a lot of like that was so long ago. Like just move on, or that's a lot of like the narrative that some people take. Mm-hmm. It's not that long ago.
No, it's not long ago at all. It's not long ago.
Your grandparents were probably like just about to be adults.
Yeah, right. We talking Negro League.
I mean, my grandfather was born in 1930.
Yeah, my grandma I think was like 28.
Yeah,
1928.
So you know what I mean? Like your grandparents were full adults.
Yeah,
and they still went through segregation.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah,
not that long ago.
Was the Gage Park High School wasn't even integrated until 72.
Yeah.
So, but that's something that in Chicago sports we don't talk about enough. We don't talk about that kind of stuff enough because that was a dominant team. And you all know I'm not a big White Sox fan. I'm not a White Sox hater, but they were dominant over the Cubs and the Sox. Yeah. And all-black team to the point where the guy who started the Negro National League left. He was a player manager. I mean, he managed the team and played for him. He left his squad to come be on the Chicago American Giants because they were that good.
Wow.
That just says something. Matter of fact, fun fact, I put a picture out there. I had it, but it's in the car. I forgot to get it, and I didn't want to walk back. But I actually have a hat of the Chicago American Giants that is still in the box that I bought it from. And it's about 7 years old now, and I've only taken pictures in it once.
Yeah.
I don't even wear it out the house. Matter of fact, it's in the car. It didn't even make it inside of here, but I'll post pictures of it so you all can see me wearing the American Giants hat. So a little fun fact for Chicago, for you sports fans out there. Now, something I want to talk about. We are here in Chinatown, right?
Yep.
And in Chinatown, let me tell you something. This is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
First of all, it's got a dope history, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. It
really is.
If you walk down this strip here, the architecture is just fantastic.
It really is. Like it's one of those neighborhoods where you feel like you're removed from the city, which is just so cool.
You really
experience an entire. There's a TikToker that I like that does like traveling to these countries without leaving Chicago, and this is like I've never been to East Asia, so I don't know what that experience is like, but being able to experience, even if it's like a little part of it while being in the city, is such a special experience. And it's so like we're so lucky that we have an area like Chinatown there you can come to, and there's many
versions of Chinatown.
Well, no, I was gonna say there's many community areas and many neighborhoods where you can experience different cultures within the city, but this is just one of them. This is one that is really great.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Let's talk about it because over a third of Chicago's Chinese population lives in Chinatown.
That's huge.
It's a lot. There's a lot of people of that demographic here in this area.
Yeah.
They first arrived to Chicago in 1869, and the reason why they came here was because the first transcontinental railroad was completed, and 90% of the workforce that worked on the Transcontinental Railroad were Chinese. Now, here's why they came over. That started on the West Coast.
Yep.
And was coming down to the Midwest and over to the East. Now,
yep.
The problem is discrimination, right? We hear this story, right? And it exists, right? And they were really, really discriminatory.
Discriminated against.
Yeah. I'm talking about the West Coast.
Oh,
West Coast was discriminatory towards Chinese folks.
Yeah.
And what they would do, just certain things like this. You think about like the 1800s, right? The early to mid 1800s, right? They would do stuff like this. Once the railroad was done, laundromat, just if you had to get your clothes done, right? And you were traveling by horse and buggy or whatever. They put a tax on if you use that kind of transportation to do that, to the point where it was too expensive to kind of, use that service anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what, Chinese were doing. They were living their life like that. And when you do things like that, we got to go. It's time to leave. Now let's leave. Let's leave and let's go somewhere, right? So they did. They landed here in Chicago. The cool thing is, at first, Chicago was like, hell yeah, come on in. We welcome everybody, which is really dope because that is the Chicago. That's what we are. That's what we do. And we did. And right before, right after the Chicago fire, so to say, a lot of folks start coming over here, the Chinese population, to the point where they were so welcomed. They were so welcomed in the Chinese population by Chicago that they start telling everybody, hey, we found a home here, here in Chicago. So let's
that's so great.
Yeah, let's mark our territory, right? Right around the World's Fair, the first World's Fair, what happened was things started to change just a tad bit, okay? Because the World's Fair was a big time for us. Mm-hmm. Then especially in '93, that was we're on 1893. We were on display. Things changed. Chicago was a little bit more discriminatory towards the Asian population, Chinese population, than we needed to be. Mm-hmm. And same thing happened. You raise rents, you raise prices and things like that.
And you
push people out. And that's what happened because they were in the South Loop. And then they moved even further south to where we are now. But before then, you had businesses, you had people, like they literally nominated the guy, Moy was his name, who was kind of like the ambassador, so to say, for the Chinese American folks that were here now, and he spoke for them. So he was like their mayor, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah.
He made him the mayor. They made him the mayor, and he spoke for everything down here, right? So when you think about, he brought all these people here saying this is great, and then all of a sudden now you got to be pushed back. You couldn't afford rent, you couldn't afford anything. Now you say, hey, look, we're going to build here. So they built tons of restaurants, and they literally, restaurants, businesses, banks, they made their life here and said, we're not going anywhere else. And we're not moving anywhere else. And if you come down through here, I mean, you can see that this place is literally like Chinatown. And it is no doubt about it. And so that's a product of them saying, hey, look, we're not moving no more. This is our home now. And this is one of the most sprawling areas in Chicago. This is the new Chinatown. So this is the second version of Chinatown.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's all you got to say? I did all that talking. That's dope, y'all.
Yeah, that's
cool.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
No, I mean, that's very interesting. It's all new information to me, so
yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that when you come to Chinatown, you think I'm in Chinatown. This is the second version of Chinatown. This is not even the first version. If you look down here, we talk about the architecture. The architecture is just fantastic, and that's intentional. Right. They wanted to be their own way. And if you everywhere you go down here, they got things in the window that are in Chinese first, in English second, and in literally everything.
Because it's their community.
Yes, it's their community. Yeah. But the reason why I point that out is because you don't see that a whole bunch. You know what I mean? Like we see that, but like this is like almost like a time warp. You go in, you hear, and it's like you're in China. Right. I don't want to say that. Like I don't mean no disrespect by that, but like it feels like like I'm in like I'm in that land without even never been there. You know what I'm saying? Like more than any other neighborhood.
Yeah, as much as you can be outside
of it. Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
for sure. I think it's also unique because they do have their unique style of architecture, so they're able to do that. I think, in my opinion, in my very limited knowledge of Chicago demographics, I think the area where I think is the most Arab, in my opinion, is Bridgeview, which is obviously not Chicago,
right.
But there is no significant architecture that you come into it and you're like, oh, this looks Arab as hell, because our architecture is a lot of stone, a lot of
right.
But all the signs are in Arabic,
right.
So you
walk,
people are speaking in Arabic anywhere you go, so that's how it feels like, quote unquote, home. Right. It's a lot of Arabs there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, same thing with primarily Latinx neighborhoods or Hispanic neighborhoods or Mexican neighborhoods, however you refer to them. That's how you know they don't have a distinct architecture, but they have the language, the music, the food, which is really what makes up a lot of the culture.
A lot of the culture.
Food, music, history, language, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So here they also have the added factor of architecture.
Yeah.
So it's very distinct. Yeah, you know it when you're here.
Kind of like when we were in Humboldt Park, and they have the Paseo de Boricua.
Yeah.
They have the two flags,
correct.
Puerto Rican flags there. There's a huge, I don't even know what this is called, but
arch.
Arch. Yeah, it's a Chinese architecture. Structure that is just, it's front and center right when you walk into.
Is it the dragon?
Yes,
is that what you're
it's actually really cool. Well, the pictures up. You can take a look at the pictures, but it's fantastic here, and I really. For me, being the first time during the daylight, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it
just feels good. You know, it feels.
For sure.
You know what's crazy? And this is another. I'm gonna shoot my shot at New York again, man. Look, it's a lot cleaner because New York's Chinatown.
1,000%.
New York's Chinatown is a mess.
Yeah, y'all need to get some alleys.
Yeah, come on, do something. Get better, like garbage disposal or something. Because y'all
reevaluate
what time
your
do y'all
garbage.
pick up garbage?
At night.
They do. They never.
But also not every day.
Yeah. Anyway, our Chinatown is much better.
Everything's better.
Everything is better. It's cleaner.
Chicago, 1,000. New York, maybe 1. There you go.
Yeah. You ready to talk to our guest?
I am. Let's take a little quick break.
Yeah.
And, come back with the Steve Dillingsley.
Steve Dillingsley. Y'all, we'll be right back.
I hope you loved that episode as much as we did. So much history, so many fun facts. Please check back again in with us on Monday for a brand new episode, and we'll see you then. Peace. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media@77flavorsshy. That's the number 77 flavors and shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy. Or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.